places like this. Nothing can get better than this. Nice sunny day. Just wait a little bit. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yo, what is up, G and TWE fam? At this ranch, and happy 4th of July to you all. It's so good to be here. And I'm gonna be talking about a little bit about, about myself growing up, what it was really like. And I'm gonna talk about the real happiest days of my life. And of course, I'm gonna be throwing in some inspiration stuff in this stream. Hello Star, what's up? Hello Kiki, Nintendo Fan 2005. Try Bowser, Nintendo Fan. Hey, what's up, Michelle? My longtime brother. And hello Diego. Welcome all. And hello Ethan. So if you guys just joined in, I'm going to be strictly talking about just a talking video in this stream. There's no no gaming, just no gaming. But I'm gonna share you guys a story in the stream, alright? And well, yeah, I'm just gonna be sharing with you guys a little bit about myself, and I'm gonna throw in some inspiration in the stream. Alright, so we're gonna get started. I'm gonna put face cam now. What's up, guys? So I'm gonna be talking about, first, it's gonna be about the video that I uploaded the other day. So, alright. So, I'm gonna be talking about a little bit of what I talked about in that video. And that is, I was telling you guys about a little bit about my life. And I shared you guys some inspiration in there because I told you guys about that, there's nothing wrong about, of what you like. Because of what you like, it will become success in the future. And well, I talked about as well about, that you guys should be happy of who you are and why are you on this earth. And in that case, a lot of things did happen during my childhood. As you guys may know, I was bullied during my childhood life. Now, I'm gonna be making this video and strictly telling you guys that I'm not trying to do any of this as for sympathy or attention. I'm just gonna be, sharing about my life, So that way, of what I've really kind of been through in order to become a successful YouTuber. So yeah. Alright. So yeah, I was bullied in school. It sucks to get bullied. No matter where, no matter on the internet. It just happens. To some people, it just never does. I'm gonna be sitting right here. And well, yeah. I was bullied as this autistic child in elementary school and middle school. The bullying finally stopped when I was in high school. And that's when I became an adult. And well, here we are now, becoming successful in life after all that. So, yeah. And, also, by the way, I won't be reading the chat, so, I'll be reading the chat, so you guys can listen and stuff of what I'm saying here. So, this is kind of like a podcast type of thing, So, yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to get to the second section of this live stream. It might be a little windy. Do I have to speak up in front of this camera? Okay, so growing up, I was an introvert. Yes, I was. In case if you don't know what an introvert is, it's basically, people who just, love to be on their own most of the time. And just love being themselves. Because that was pretty much my life. An introvert. In school, it was hard for me to make friends. Yes, it was. Why? Because I was too shy to talk to anyone, really. Including my teachers. Including, I don't know about reason. The fact that, it was hard making friends back in the day. And so, that is another reason why I was bullied. Because I was always the quiet kid in school. But you know what? I took it. Yes, I did. But I didn't tell anyone that I was being bullied. Not even my teachers. Not even the school principal. And so, I took it. And I lived through it, And I didn't even tell my parents either. All of that during elementary, I guess was, I didn't really care afterwards, I guess. If I'm trying to remember things. But, it's, it was an experience that I had in elementary. Right? And so now we move on to middle school. I was still an introvert. Yeah, I was. Now, in middle school, the bullying wasn't actually as bad as elementary's. It was actually far less. Despite the fact that during middle school, I was always criticized for liking Hot Wheels and stuff, because around middle school is when I got into them. And you know what I told them? I told them, okay, Hot Wheels are not just for little kids, they're for adults too. Anything can be for adults. It's the same thing if you play, if you still play Nintendo at age 25 or something. You know? People can be happy with anything. Is what I would be like. And this was the time when I met my best friend, Meta Knight Audi. If you guys remember him from my old channel. So, you know, in middle school, the bullying wasn't that bad. However, yes, I was bullied for liking hobbies for some reason. Yeah. And well, I didn't really care for sure, because I remember telling them that hobbies are not just for little kids, they're for adults too. You know, I've seen grown men still playing with cars in today's generation. It's true. And that's how I defended myself during that time. Alright, so if you guys really want to know what my real introvert life really was, I'm gonna say it, and you guys are probably going to criticize me about it, okay? Just warning you. But my real life introvert is I didn't like talking to anybody. I didn't like doing anything in life. I just liked being myself. I liked being alone. You know, in places like this. Oh shoot. You know, places like this. Look how lonely it is. You know? This was my life. Just the loneliness around me. You get the peace. You get the quietness. You get to stay away from, you know, all the bullying and all the criticism that I got. So, give me all you want. It's okay. I'll handle it. But, yeah, that was my life, my introvert life in school. As far as for family goes, sometimes I can be. Sometimes. Not all the time. But right now I'm making this live stream because I wanted to make this story talk with you all. You know, I can count all the days and all the school days that, you know, that I was always that person who didn't really like talking to anybody. I can count all of them in like less than 5 years. Because that's how I really kind of spent my childhood life like. I mean, you guys can criticize me all you want, but I didn't like talking to anybody. Not even to you know, sometimes to my close friends. I was sometimes like that. I was kind of always that one person who would, you know, who just wants to be on his own sometimes. And like I said, in places like this, where there's literally nothing, just a whole ranch to myself, it was like... And you know what? Sometimes it's just nice to be by yourself. Sometimes, you know, you gotta get away from people. Sometimes you just gotta enjoy peace to yourself. Like, why do you think I'm here? Well, that's what we're gonna talk about. So now, we're gonna get into the third section of this live stream. And that is the real happiest days of my childhood. Alright, so we're gonna try to sit down in this whole wheat here, if I even can. Okay. Okay, so the happiest days, I'm gonna be counting them from elementary, middle school, and high school. So, it all starts in elementary school. You know, as I told you guys, I was always bullied for no freaking reason. You know, getting my basketball taken away, getting my backpack thrown in the trash, getting smack talked at. Yeah, I remember all that, but I don't care anymore because, well, here's the thing, everybody. And then, you know, I told you that in middle school, I was always bullied. Same thing, but because I liked Hot Wheels myself. And same with my best friend. In high school, you know, that's when all the bullying stopped. But what were the real happiest days out of all those school years? And my overall happiness is what you guys want to know. So, in elementary school, you know how all those days that I was bullied, you know, the real bullying in elementary pretty much stopped when I was in 5th grade. I might have to get close. The real bullying pretty much stopped when I was in 5th grade. Okay? But however, those were not the real happiest days. It was not 5th grade. It was not, you know, it was not being at school that time. You want to know what were my happiest days of being in elementary school? Going to Mexico every summer vacation. In middle school, you want to know what were the happiest days of my life in middle school? Hanging out with my best friend at my house. And as well as, you know, what else do I remember in middle school? Same thing, going to Mexico every summer. Want to know my real happiest days of when I was in high school? Uploading YouTube videos. Instead of, you know, being in high school, acting all cool and stuff, you know, pretending that, you know, you have all the money and all the fame to you. Yeah, that was not me. I was not that one person who was always sagging their pants, being a gangster just to act all cool in high school. I wasn't those type of people because I was not raised like that. Yeah. Let me tell you that. And the happiest days of my high school life were uploading my first YouTube videos on my YouTube channel, which is no longer here, but you guys get the idea for those who have been here for a very long time. And look where that got me. So, it's easy to say that, you know, that all of that stuff, all of the school days that I counted, all of the hate and criticism that I got to school is so freaking easy right now that I pretty much hated school from elementary and middle school. Why? Because it was all the crap that I had to go through. My happiest life overall, my happiest life was not going to school, was not trying new things, was not trying to be different. My life and my hobby was being out here at this ranch every single day, aka my aunt's house, and watching TV all day. If you guys want to hate me, you can hate me all you want, but those were my real happiest days. I remember every single elementary summer vacation, I'd always be out here, running around with my cousins, having fun. And watching TV all day is all what it sums up. Like, seriously, those were my real happiest days of my life. And that's why I'm so happy to be here right now. This was my childhood. This is my home. Believe me, this was my home before YouTube, before I got into high school. 2017 was the last time I was being babysitted out here, having fun. That's why I didn't like school. I didn't like, doing anything new. It's because of my introvert life, okay? And again, you guys can hate me all you want, but being out here every single day, getting babysitted every summer vacation was the happiest day of my life. My aunts would... Sorry about that. My aunts would be doing everything for me. They'd do anything I asked them to do out here at this ranch. This really felt like home right now. And it still feels fresh after 8 years ago, the last time that I was always babysitting here on summer vacations. And again, my life, my happiness was not being at school, was not doing anything new, but simply the fact that I loved being alone in places like this. And that's why my aunt, who is spending time with my family right now, and technically I am as well since I'm here, is the reason why I shout her out for everything that she's done for me. Right now, I just want to tell her, this place feels like home. It feels like freaking home. Okay, I might get a little emotional here, but it's simply the fact that places like this were always the happiest days of my life. I cannot express of so much fun I've had out here. Okay, so I'm getting a little too carried away now. So the fourth segment, what I want to talk about is, why I'm never changing for who I am. So after all that I talked about with you guys, I talked about, that you guys can hate me all you want, but I'm not going to change for who I am. Like, just because I don't do so much in life, that doesn't mean, you know, it doesn't mean I'm gonna wake up and, like, hurt somebody. No. Again, I may not do much in life. Like, I would get comments like, people telling me, oh, stop smooching off, you have to do more things in life because you're gonna learn it when you grow up. Yeah, I get it. But the thing is, I wasn't ready to do those things yet. Why? Because I didn't want to do those things as a kid just yet. I wanted to do them, like, when I get a little older. Like, I'm 22 years old. I'm a grown guy now. And all this criticism that I got for all about Hot Wheels and stuff, dude, it was so easy for me to tell them, like, oh, well then, I'm okay then. I'll quit liking Hot Wheels and I'll just do your thing. I'll go to a party and I'll go smoke and drink. But that's not what I did. Because my parents raised me to be the person who I am today. You know? It's one thing to be smack talked. It's one thing to be criticized for anything, really. And, well, yeah, that's why I'm not changing, because I'm perfect just the way I am. And that's the thing that I tell you guys. Be yourselves. Do whatever makes you happy. And, well, you know, that's what people need to understand. Apparently, you know, I was also criticized for my autism, okay? I was. Well, guess what? The thing is, everybody, I shouldn't be saying this right now, but, like, well, once again, I'm not trying to, like, get any attention. I'm not trying to get any sympathy or anything like that. But, jeez. I was always criticized for who I really was, for me being an introvert, for me being autistic. And you know what I could have done as well? I could have easily lied to people that I was autistic, that I was not, that I was normal, and that, you know, like, and that I'm extroverted. I could have easily lied to them to those things. I could have, but hey, whatever happens in the past, happens in the past. And the thing is, look, I'm not... Look, it's not my fault that, you know, it's not my fault that I was an introvert. It's not my fault that, you know, I was always the quiet kid. It's not my fault that someone gave birth to me as being diagnosed with autism. And, like, it's not my fault that I didn't like talking to people. That's literally how I really was. And that's why it was so freaking easy to tell them that I could have lied that I had autism and that, you know, that I am extroverted and that I can do so many things in life. I could have, but I didn't want to because I was a damn introvert. Alright, so now we're getting into the fifth section. The fifth section was, you know, my overall life, okay? So now we're gonna get into my overall life. So what you guys all just heard is I'm really comfortable talking with you guys about it. like for a lot of you, I think it's pretty much easy to say that, oh, you pretty much had a boring life because you didn't want to hang out with people. Oh, what a loser. Well, hey, everyone lives different lifestyles. Yeah, my lifestyle could have been boring, but in reality, it wasn't the worst lifestyle that I was living in. I know that a lot more people had a way tougher life than me. Parents going through divorce, some people going through real life depression, some people losing family members, when they're young, or, have PTSD because of this and that, or some people are just dealing with criticism for how I dealt with it. But what I'm telling you guys is my life isn't as bad as you guys think. Sure, it was boring. It was pretty depressing that, I didn't do that much in life. But the reality is my life wasn't really bad. It was happy, but to some people it was just like, oh, you're just smooching off, doing other things. You're just a boring old person. You know what? Screw you. Again, you guys can hate me all you want. Not literally, but what I'm trying to tell you is, my life was pretty boring to some of you that I just explained. However, yes, I did like traveling as well. I loved going on road trips. I loved, traveling to Mexico and stuff. Mexico was, the happiest place of my life too. And I'm going over there next month. So, yeah, so that was my overall life, Now we're going to get into the 6th section. And that is, I want to say thanks to my parents, okay? So, I want to thank all my parents. I want to thank my whole family, from whether it's here or in Mexico, for making me the person who I really became. Because if it wasn't for them, I would have been doing the wrong type of nonsense out in this world. It was easy for me to be cool in high school, being all saggy and stuff, wearing baggy clothes, doing lots of drugs. No, I never did any of that because I didn't want it to change. I wanted to do stuff that was always happy, that always made me happy. And one more thing, by the way, I forgot to mention this in my middle school part about my childhood days. The happiest days of my middle school as well were staying at home and playing with Hot Wheels all day. So yeah, that too. Look, dude, I was a boy who was raised to play with toys, who loved traveling and who loved, playing basketball, who loved talking about places where to go. And, someone who always loved places like this, I just want to thank my parents for everything that they've done for me and my family. You think I could have been doing this YouTube career if I were to do all that nasty stuff? No. That would have not got me there. I would have been at home being a loser. And that's why I tell you guys. Oh my God, I cannot can I express myself about this? Because now we're gonna get into the inspiration section now, okay? My inspiration to you all is just be yourself. Don't try to fit in with others just because of what their lifestyles are like. You know, you're not always gonna become cool if you talk with the wrong friends if you talk with the wrong friends that give you bad influence. Like, there's a reason. Okay, I'm gonna sit up now. Okay. Look, just do whatever makes you happy. Don't follow what people do. Okay, look, I don't care if you do drugs or anything, but the thing is, I don't want you, giving influence to others to do it, just because of that they are enjoying their lives. Don't be doing that. Don't be offering them drugs. Don't be doing that, because that's gonna make you a bad person. Just be a good person in general. Don't do anything stupid. Just don't have bad intentions. If you guys, want to wake up and, if you want to wake up and say, oh, well, I'm going to be donating a lot of stuff to this homeless guy, or I'm going to be donating some money to charity, then you're a good person. That's what makes you a good person. No matter your skin color, no matter your religion, no matter your gender. As long as you are a good person. But however, if you wake up and you say, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be stealing at the stores, and I'm going to rob a bank. Why does that matter about your skin color, your religion, or your gender? Because that means you are a bad person. Okay? You are a bad person if you have bad intentions like that. It doesn't matter. And, just don't have bad intentions. You are somebody. Somebody who is beautiful on this earth. Somebody who is important. Somebody who is meant to do something. Stupid branch. But yeah, just be a good person overall. Don't have bad intentions. Because this is why I'm successful. You guys literally gave me so much potential to create this channel that is now being monetized. Look at me. I have all of you guys that are always there for me. You guys are the reason why you made it happen on my YouTube channel. I have 1,400 subs almost. But to me, it really feels like a way bigger sub count that I have, because look at all this popularity that I'm getting. Why? Because I've been learning so much inspirational from others. I've cut off so many people off my life who gave me bad influences. And again, you think I would be doing this if I were to be hanging out with these jerks? No. That would put me as a loser. So what I'm trying to tell you is, you guys are the reason that you changed my life. The GNTWE fam has been around since June of 2019. And we just got done celebrating 6 years of it. Like, you guys were never the friends that I had in elementary, middle, or high school. You guys changed my life so freaking much. And look where it got me. I'm getting all this popularity, fam. It may not seem like it for someone who has 1,400 subs almost. But in reality, I think I should deserve more. Not trying to say it for like attention or anything, but it's true. And again, I just love being here. Look at this. This was my home before YouTube. I loved hanging out in places like this instead of doing bad intentions. I remember running around here, playing with my cousins. Like, seriously though, it's so big here. And it's so big that you can even camp out here as well. Like, you know what I wish? You know what I really wish right now? I wish you guys were here with me. Here with my family. And your guys' families, your parents or whatever, you guys would be getting to know my parents. And you know what I wish I would do? I wish to tell all of your parents to thank them for what they've done for you. Because you must love your parents no matter what, okay? And your family in general. Like, I wish you guys were here out with me. Like, what would it be doing? We'd be like having a campfire out here. When, you know, the sun sets. And that's why I tell you guys, you know, you guys are like my best friends. Like my real best friends. You guys were never the friends that I had in high school. That's why I want to thank you guys so much for being there for me ever since. Because this year has been very crazy, as you guys may know. I'm going to sit down right here. Day, I love you all. Peace and stuff. That's always been my routine ever since this channel started. I'm gonna put it right here so that you guys can see my face. Like, just look into my eyes, everybody. Like, it's so freaking amazing how I've came. Because all the hate and criticism, I just want to thank them for giving me all those bad comments that I got during my freaking childhood. Because it's made it so worth it to become this popular on YouTube. And this community. That's why everybody's coming to me. They want to know the inspiration I'm giving to you all. Literally though. Like, why do you guys think you guys are still here? Those of you that have been here since day one, like, I want to thank you guys so much. You know, it's just been a journey. It was so freaking worth it for what I've been through. Because now, I'm going to be saying this, but my childhood days are pretty much over. Except for the days that I was out here in this ranch and at my aunt's house, watching TV all day and just running around with my cousins out here. It's truly a blessing for someone who always grew up in this beautiful ranch. Just having so much fun. Watching TV all day. You know, it's just an amazing feeling. And that's how I got to be here with you guys from being here to my YouTube channel. Because if it wasn't for this place, man, I probably would have not even make it here on YouTube this big. This is just a beautiful place. It's still fresh in my head. Alright, everybody, well, that is my speech to you. Give a round of applause if you guys would like. And well, I mean, I guess you guys can just ask me some questions if you guys like. Let's do like a little Q&A thing if you guys want. Man, it feels so freaking awesome. Like, I love my family and I love you guys so much. Like, you guys are just like my family. You guys are just like the people that are inside my house every single day. Man, it just feels so good. Alright, so you guys want to ask me any questions? Let's do a little Q&A, shall we? You know, you guys can ask me any questions about, you know, what I just talked about, or, you know, about anything pretty much. Like the Switch 2. I've been enjoying that thing so much. I just love it here so freaking much, though. This place was basically my home. It was basically my home. I almost teared up. The fact that I'm here again. It's been like so long since I've been here. Like, you know, I just imagine you guys just being here with me in a big open space like this. Yeah, sure, it's the best places in the world. I just cannot tell you how much. You want to ask me any questions? Q&A segment now. We're in this Q&A segment now. And again, shout out to my aunt who, you know, who has lived in this ranch for a very long time, including my uncle. Because this is all his stuff. But anyways, yeah. All right, any questions you guys want to ask me for this Q&A segment of what I just talked about? I would like to know, because that's why I'm here for you all. Don't be shy, just, you know, ask me anything pretty much. I remember I grew up with Bluey. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing my Bluey shirt right now. That was the 80s, man. But yeah. Gotta be careful with that. My live stream's a bit glitchy. Yeah, it's because I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. That's why. But it's still pretty good. Yeah, I mean, thanks, Nintendo Fan 2005. I'll give about like 4 more minutes before we close out the stream. I'm just waiting for like any Q&A segments. The stream is glitchy. Oh, well, it shouldn't be as glitchy as before. But again, that's only because I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I don't know if everything got captured in the stream, but hopefully most of that good stuff was there. Alright, first question. Favorite Sonic character? Yes, I do have a favorite Sonic character. That is Sonic the Hedgehog himself, actually. Are you hearing the fireworks? Nice start. Yeah, well, we are gonna get some, but yeah. But yeah, my favorite Sonic character is basically Sonic the Hedgehog himself. What's my favorite Mario character? My favorite Mario character is Daisy. Same with Stars as well. Me and Star equally love Daisy to death. Come on, get more questions, everybody. Just ask me anything, whether what I explained or anything video game topic. It could even be on me's or anything like that. Favorite Smash Brothers character? Well, I'm not a Smash Bros guy myself, but I like using Kirby as my main. Thanks for the question, man bun. And you guys can also ask me questions about my Switch 2, how I've been enjoying it. I know they're pretty obvious, but still, ask me anything. Some steel. Alrighty. So I think... Okay, there's 2 more questions. How am I enjoying the Switch 2? Oh man, it's great. The Switch 2 is an amazing console, let me tell you. I highly recommend getting the Switch 2. The Switch 2 is such an amazing console. I freaking love how big it is, and I love the Joy-Cons. I loved that unboxing video that I did with you all. It was amazing. Do I like Yoshi? Yes, I do. Yoshi is an amazing character. Yoshi! Yeah, I just enjoying this life, man. I freaking just love it here. Alright, everybody, well, I think I'm going to wrap up the stream now. I want to thank you guys so much for listening to me, listening to my words about, about my life. Again, it was not made for, sympathy or attention. I just simply was talking about, a little bit about my life. And, yeah, again, I just want to thank you guys so much for making me the person who I am today. I really appreciate it. I want to appreciate also my family, my parents, for making me become this popular on YouTube right now. So yeah. So I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna spend time with my family for the rest of the 3 hours that we're gonna be here. And yeah. Well, alright everybody. That is it for the stream. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, be yourself. Don't change just because of what other lifestyles are. Just to make yourself look cool. Don't do that. Just be yourself. Do whatever makes you happy. Alright? Just remember that. I love you guys all so much. And GNTWE fam, we're out. Peace.